Love Nebraska throws a block party in Lincoln tonight, both to generate excitement ahead of the upcoming season and celebrate the return of Jordan Larson from retirement. Welcome into sports. I'm Mason Kern. The Olympic gold medalist and former Nebraska All-American didn't limp out of her career during last year's retirement tour. In fact, she won the league's Best Outside Hitter award after finishing 5th in kills and 6th in points among all Love players. The Hooper native and recent National High School Hall of Fame inductee says she took time to reflect after playing her last match on April 4th and realized she has more to give the sport that's given her so much.
To go back on a massive decision, it's not fun, and and then to confuse the public, all of it, it's not something that I would wish for anyone, honestly, but here we are, and I'm happy with the decision, and we're moving forward. It was bittersweet when it all ended, and then I'm thinking, like, why am I actually stopping? Is it for the public, or what's actually at the heart and what I really want to do?
Just knowing Jordan, and also I'd watched her play this year, and I was like, she's so good. Like, she still has got it. It's not like she was out there looking like she didn't belong.